I'll give you $1 for it.
I don't know, mister.
It's okay. I know you'll get $10 like 5 years from now, but I'll give you $1 right now.
I don't know that I should.
$1 and a lollipop.
Well, I like lollipops, okay. And welcome to The Rebellion, the show taking the fight to self-entitlement. We're your hosts, the Bradford Brothers.
I'm Caleb.
I'm Josh. Episode 7.
How's the Irish say 7, Josh?
Oh, God, 7.
Nope, just loop.
Yeah, that one was for Shannon.
Yeah. Hey, Shannon, we love you.
Yeah.
Out there, just,
Our Irish sister.
Aye! She's a wee lass. Anyway, episode 7. What's the title, Josh?
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, this one's going to be a ride, so buckle in.
5-point harness ride.
Right.
No seat belts here.
We're talking slingshot at the carnival that may or may not be bolted together type of ride. So
like the last space shuttle ride. Like those astronauts, like Obama killed the funding.
Right. We don't know if this rocket's going.
This rocket looks a little rickety. It's shaking a little more than normal.
Oh, so okay.
All right.
Episode 7.
7.
The bricks of integrity.
I feel like this is the point in the show that we need a brick expert.
You're right. Caleb, I think we...
No. Should we?
I think we should.
Should we expose him to it?
I think we should. Why not?
Okay.
All right.
Well, we happen to have what?
Ladies and gentlemen.
This is a big day for us.
Yeah. Joshua and Caleb Bradford actually have another brother who's not been part of the show to this point, but...
he may become a regular. Who knows?
He's kind of a brick expert.
Yeah. If there's one guy that knows about the function and the integrity of what a good brick should look like, I think it's Noah.
It not necessarily a physical brick made out of clay, but maybe a brick of integrity. Moral bricks.
Moral bricks. Bricks that make men better.
Yeah. He might know something about that. Why don't we...
Let's see if we can find him.
Punch him in here real quick.
A little ding-diddling, ding-ding-ding.
Hey guys, how are you?
Hey, is that Noah?
Oh, I'm doing all right. And Josh, actually, listening to what you said, I think that you might be mistaken. Bricks of integrity are a lot like that of physical bricks as well.
Oh, really?
What's the difference, Noah?
Well, one is physical, and one is more emotional, spiritual, pretty much not physical.
So, okay.
But manifests itself in physical ways.
Noah, what are the likenesses of physical bricks and bricks of integrity?
Well, Josh, I think it's more important to look at what exactly do bricks do, and then maybe you can see the bigger picture, the forest through the tree, if you will.
Okay, I'll play with you.
Yeah, play my little reindeer games. Dance monkey. So bricks, in essence, are laid to build a great foundation, one that holds up. So it doesn't matter whether you're looking at business, whether you're looking at your own, relationships as far as spousal or fraternal or brotherly, whatever the case may be, everything requires a good foundation. You cannot build anything without a foundation. And so for business, that might look like, okay, we're laying down business plans. These are our core values. This is how we're going to execute, and then you build off of that.
So you set a culture with your foundational bricks of integrity.
That's correct. Yeah. Same thing for relationships. You have to have certain core values set into place or a foundation to build off of, or else it's not going to be a successful relationship. And that carries over to, the country and the way that our country was built. It carries over into, education, pretty much any aspect of life you look at. You need a solid foundation to build off.
Okay, Noah, so I got a question for you.
Okay.
What happens when the bricks are not built of a strong substance like integrity?
Well, I don't know about you, but I grew up in the church, and I do know about you because we're brothers. But there's this old song called "The Wise Man Builds His House Upon the Rock," right?
Right.
And the fool builds his house upon the sand. So if you build something that's not on a brick of integrity, let's say something weak like sand, If any sort of turbulation comes at you, any sort of upsetting of the apple cart, then all of a sudden everything crumbles. So if you're an entrepreneur and you don't have these solid core values, you don't know what you stand for, then you stand for nothing. And the first time you get a rejection, the first time you get a no, or maybe it's not even the first time, maybe it's the 100th time you get a no, you're going to crumble. Relationships, so many different aspects of that. The first time something bad happens, you're going to turn your back and want to go back to your old ways if you don't have core values set in place.
Man, it sounds like you've been listening to the show or something.
Right.
Yeah. No, big fan, guys. Big fan.
Well, Noah, we're going to let you go, but we appreciate it. When can the audience expect to hear from you live?
Well, hear from me live, I don't know. I might be contributing some blog post, or maybe next time I'm in town, we'll hop on.
The next time you're in town, you're definitely hopping on. That's the point. When is the next time you're coming in town?
Yeah, commit.
Well,
yeah, our people want a date, sir. You just made your debut. They want to know when they can get some more of you. You little scrumptious pie.
I'm expecting another niece soon, so I'll definitely be there for that, if not sooner.
Ah.
All right. Well, we love you, buddy.
Love you, buddy.
All right. Love you guys, too.
Thanks for contributing.
Oh, absolutely. My pleasure.
Well, Caleb, I think Noah made some valid points there.
I think he made some really valid points.
Surprisingly.
I was not expecting him to kind of steal the show there, but yeah.
Hey, man, here's our thunder. Take it.
Yeah. Just
well, folks, that's episode 7.
Yeah. They're your bricks.
Yeah.
We gave them to you. Shortest episode yet, only 8 minutes and 30 seconds, but
Okay,
woo.
so let's
no, we can't unpack that yet, Josh.
I feel like we can.
We can't. And
Okay.
let me tell you why.
Hit me with it.
Housekeeping.
Oh!
Yeah, you don't care about the people who take the time.
No, I'm so sorry.
Listen, there is nothing that fuels the train of change more than the people that take the time to leave us a review.
Amen.
More than the people that take time
Amen.
to email me at caleb@therebellionshow.com and that email you at josh@therebellionshow.com.
There's an honest little plug on our own show.
Because, well, that's not a plug. That's how we communicate. I mean, that's
right.
how your voice gets heard on the show.
That's true. That's true. So hit us with it. Let's do some housekeeping.
Getting to it, son.
Mail time, mail time, mail time.
Mail time. I don't remember the song in Blue's Clues.
That's how it went.
Is it?
Something like that.
I mean, it's pretty close, but I didn't think we had
Mail time.
There you go. Good job, you little Nick Jr.
No,
I'm not even.
I'm too old for that show.
So anyway, getting to it. We had one review.
Yes, we did.
And a email coming this week.
Yes, we did.
Which was like an email/review. Both very encouraging.
Yeah. Positive words from both.
And the best part, we earned those 5s.
Yeah, we did.
We haven't forgot about you.
Yeah.
We're still coming for that 5, but
Listen,
maybe
we respect your decision to leave us 4 stars.
Send us an email. I know you can't really go back and change a review. I understand that, but just the day that we hit 5 stars for you, just send us an email, just so we know that we've earned that 5th star. How do you feel about it, Joe?
No, I agree. I can't wait for that day. That's the day we make it.
Now, I feel like every single time, every single one, man, it just, it's just like, I would use, it's like a substance that's really good, that gets you really, yeah! But,
Probably illegal, so.
yeah, we got to keep it clean.
Right.
Anyway, my lovely, lovely listeners, whom we love more than you will ever know. Getting straight to it. Review. Title. Game Changer. Changing the game. I mean, just says Game Changer. But,
Right. Don't embellish on that review. Just read it.
Well,
how
I mean,
it
the
is.
title's Game Changer. So changing the game is it's not embellishing. That's
But it's a
just
given.
restating.
Okay, yeah.
Like, we took the game and
Dunked it.
in your face. So, Game Changer, 5 stars by Asterisk. Why does everybody that leave us reviews except for the first one not put a name with it? Iceman, they're also Asterisk. I mean, Listen, if you don't want to admit that you're a fan of the show, it's okay.
Right, we're all rebels at heart.
Yeah, I understand it. I wish that there was I feel bad thinking asterisk. Like I wish I could thank Bob or Tim or Sally or Sue, whoever, because we honestly, at least I do. I don't know how Josh feels, but it warms my heart. It like keeps me chugging along. It lets me know we are on the right path. For anybody that takes the 5 minutes to leave us a review on iTunes to help us spread the word and open eyes.
Yeah, and I agree 100% with that.
So anyway, back to it. Game Changer, 5 stars by Asterisk. May 14th, 2016. Is the world ready for the Bradford brothers? Question mark?
Good question.
Probably not.
Also true.
Made a good point. There's a couple of good points in this review. I'll give asterisk that. Probably not. Should the world wake up and listen? Question mark. Absolutely. I'll admit it. I was skeptical at first, being a millennial, and curious if they could even keep my attention for more than one episode. They do not disappoint. The energy that they both bring to the table is undeniable, whether it is the passion in one of Caleb's valid rants. Thank you. Appreciate that. I do have passion.
And validity.
It's not just anger.
Right.
It's a valid anger. It's a valid passion. If it's not, whether it's the passion in one of Caleb's valid rants or the comic relief and the ability to get back on track that Josh brings, yeah, I take it down some.
Right. Sometimes I have to
hook me like a fish.
That's right.
And it's necessary. It's needed.
It's my job.
I mean, that's why we're a team.
That's right.
That's why we are the rebellion.
That's right.
Sorry, guys.
Just read the review.
I know. I'm just ruining the flow. The comic relief and the ability to get back on track that Josh brings. The show is full of eye-opening points and is the first podcast to make me laugh out loud. That's pretty funny because we're not like a comedic podcast,
right?
We have moments. They are the quote-unquote social proof they always talk about. I am pleased to see the growth from the first episode. I have joined the rebellion, and you should too. P.S. Looking forward to Conspiracy Corner. Oh, it's coming.
Oh, that feels like a call out.
You got one more episode, homie.
I know.
And then we got to drop it. Drop it like it's hot.
Listen, I too am looking forward to Conspiracy Corner and the bonus material we're going to release between 8 and 9.
Yes, it is coming. We will not fail you.
Listen, we committed. And when we commit...
It's a little scary, but it's happening. It's happening. So, Asterisk.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. You don't know how much that means to us. So, on to the email.
So this one comes from Hockey Nut 469.
Oh, Hockey Nut.
I am curious as to which team you're rooting for. Hopefully it's the Capitals. Go Caps.
I'm not a hockey fan. Sorry, Hockey Nut.
Yeah. All right, so this one reads, and again, this is the email. This one came to Caleb, actually. Caleb at therebellionshow.com. Yes. Stella has found her groove.
Ooh, baby.
I have listened to you guys since episode 1, and while I can say that you have certainly gotten better with every episode, this one felt like it finally fit. I felt like there was a great amount of humor while still shedding light on situations that our generation needs to be brought to light. I was engaged the entire time, and the whole Disney bit literally made me laugh out loud, and I honestly did not want it to end when it did, and that's the truth. You guys did a great job, and I'm excited to see how far you go with it. Keep it up. Hockey Nut.
Oh, Hockey Nut. Thank you.
Those are kind words. And you know what both...
Well, Walt, let me tell you. No, sorry, we won't beat the dead horse. But
what both reviews said was... the progress we made from 1 to...
Right. It's a journey. That's what we said. I mean, Knowledge plus execution plus adjustment plus execution plus adjust. I mean,
Right.
when we've said it before, when you were learning to walk, you didn't like hop out the womb and start strutting your stuff down the living room. You crawled.
You had
You
to learn.
stood up, and you stood up for all of half a second, and you fell on your face. And you progressed from there. And you probably fell more times in the first year of your life learning to walk than you did for the next 10.
Right.
It's the journey. That's why we leave our crappy episode number 1 up. We've been batting around the idea. Should we talk about the idea?
Episode 0.
Yeah. Or patient 0, as we like to call it. We'll save it for another episode. Anyway, back on track.
Yeah.
That's weird for me to say. I feel like
Right.
Josh, call me in.
Yeah. Hey, Caleb, come on. Let's get back on track.
Okay, thank you. What was the name of the
so
episode 7? Well, one last time. Thank you guys.
Thank you to both of you. That was very kind words, and we're very appreciative.
Keep sharing the movement.
So, episode 7, Bricks of Integrity. You heard from Noah. Noah had some great points. Let's unpack Noah's points with a quote, if I may. Caleb.
Oh, I would love to hear it, Josh.
Because I'm a big fan of quotes. Let's unpack Noah's...
Not only quotes, but quotes from people who...
Right. The quotes themselves are social proof because these are established, well-known, successful people.
Right.
I mean, C.S. Lewis. Was that last week? C.S. Lewis.
I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Anyway, successful author. Tonight, I'm bringing you a quote straight from the White House.
Wait.
No, not who you're thinking.
Not Obama.
No. God, no. If he said something worth saying.
Yeah.
This is President Dwight D. Eisenhower.
Woo!
One of the greats, guys.
One of the greats.
So,
and an avid golf fan, which makes him way cool in my book. But
right. Okay, so President Eisenhower, his quote goes something like this. The supreme quality for leadership is unquestionably integrity. Without it, no real success is possible, no matter whether it's in a section gang, a football field, in an army, or in an office. So let me repeat that just the first part.
Just a little bit slower.
Yeah. The supreme quality for leadership is unquestionably integrity. Without it, no real success is possible. And to paraphrase, no matter where it is.
Right. Whether it's nailing down railroads, commanding the greatest military that's ever strolled across the face of this beautiful blue planet.
Playing a sport or, doing freaking P&L reports in your office.
Man, those P&L reports are exciting sometimes. So, man, what we are talking about, this guy, I mean, if you want to put this in reference to something, we're talking about this quote coming from a man who literally was the general of the world.
Right.
He wasn't just the top general in the United Forces. He was the 5-star general who was the commander of all Allied forces during World War II. So if there's something the man knows about, I think it might be success. I think it might be leadership. I think it might be playing the long game. So Mr. Eisenhower says that supreme, well, by my definition, supreme is number 1, without equal. No tie, no discussion, no argument. Supreme quality of any great leader. Was it leader?
Of leadership, yeah.
So if any great leader is integrity.
Can't lead without it, basically.
So
let's just go ahead and let's cut the crap, so to say, and let's just get to what happened this week. This is, I mean, guys, we're not going to beat this. We don't want this to be a, all about this point episode, but let's just.
But it's highly important.
Right. This is no joke. This is your lives we're talking about.
So if you're afraid of being politically incorrect, if you're afraid of controversy, here is your 3 seconds to turn us off.
1, 2, 3.
There went your warning.
Okay, so what happened this week, Caleb?
Oh, sweet, sweet God in heaven. Let me tell you what happened. We have a president who has now decided that the less than 1% of a population of our great country now makes the rules for the other 99%. That if you don't follow the rules that he has mandated in his little threat, because it's nothing more than that. He didn't write an executive order. He didn't make a law because you couldn't legislatively make a law on this. It would get blown out of the water. So what he did was he said, I threaten anyone to question, to stand up against me, and say that my word is not law. Well, guess what, Mr. President? Your word is not law. I will stand up and I will say it. And I do not care. The fact is, this president has sold his administration's integrity to win the short game. He has sold the integrity of his administration to be politically correct in this moment instead of being historically correct 50 years from now. Why? Because he's going to leave office. He doesn't care about what the long-term ramifications of the things that he is doing are. He wants to look cool. He wants to look progressive. Well, let me tell you something about progressiveness. So I don't know if, and this is just a little side tangent, but I'm just going to throw up a little social proof for all you Bernie fans out there who think socialism's just so fantastic. Everything's free and it's down with the rich and everybody gets rainbows and unicorns and Skittles. I don't know if you saw this in the news, but Venezuela, yeah, all you cool millennials that have the
Hugo Chavez.
Yeah, his picture on your shirt and socialism. Yeah, they're in an economic failure. Their country is in the midst of a crisis. It is on the brink of a civil war. Why? Because the only thing socialism breeds is more corrupt government to continue to steal from its people. And the money makers leave, like we've said. And then you're left stealing from the poor because the government isn't going to go without, because you have now given all power and authority over them for your short-term win. You sold your own integrity. For what? A free associate's degree, a cell phone, a minimum wage. Man, if your goal in life is a minimum wage, my God, wake up. So, social proof number one, right off the rip.
Right.
I mean, I couldn't have planned it any better. But there's I am trying so hard in this moment to stay calm. Because for you to continue to preach a system that has been broken every single time it is implemented as the way to be, because I understand it. I can. Here's the worst part. I know how to solve it, but they don't want to listen to me. Here's how you solve it. You go out. I wrote an article about it today. Why is critical thinking so critically important? And I'm not going to dive into the whole article, but it popped into my mind. Here's how you solve it. You exercise the gray matter that is between your ears instead of being... Okay, so what critical thinking requires is you have to be objective. You can't just be nurse-fed from the education system of every belief, every piece of knowledge that you gain. Because what happens when you're no longer in the education system? You have to go back and get another degree because you have to buy that social proof that you somehow are smart. But what happens when you get your doctorate and you still can't solve a freaking problem? A problem that, I don't know, would require you to expand your mind and go learn more than just the narrow specific skill that you currently have. Well, I can't get another student loan. I can't afford it. You don't need one. Go just teach yourself. It's been done over and in fact, pretty much all the super successful people in life said, you know what, I don't need your stupid freaking school. I don't need to have to wait on the 18 other people to figure out how to do it. I'm going to go get all the books that you are literally reading out of and feeding me your biased political correctness crap. And I'm going to go learn the actual skills in that book. I don't need your opinions on it.
So, to bring that back on track.
The train went a little off track.
It's okay. It's okay. It was all valid. It's great stuff to hear. Or not so great stuff to hear. However, whichever side of the fence you're on. This week, Obama wrote his little threat about transgender equality in public schools. And that all public schools should adhere to the fact that they would be being... Oh, God, what was it, Caleb?
Sexual discrimination.
Thank you. Sexual discrimination if they do not allow whatever gender to use the opposite gender's restroom and locker room.
Mm-hmm.
Any area.
Oh, and when they go on a field trip overnight, they get to sleep in the girls' rooms or the boys' rooms.
Right.
Whichever side of the fence they fall on.
Right. Well, however that young man or woman feels, they get to decide without a doctor's note, without a parent's note,
right.
without anything, because they are... And adolescents have never abused...
Oh, God, no. No, there's never been... I could not fathom a teenage boy going, you know what, I feel a little girly today.
Right, I
think I need to go shower with the girls.
Yeah, I need to sleep in the cheerleaders' rooms.
I'm just not comfortable having to wash off my football sweat in front of other men because I feel girly. So I'm gonna go in there with the cheerleaders. Yeah, because that won't happen.
So,
and that's just we were talking the tip top of the iceberg, and anybody who opposes this is somehow you're just a fear-mongering, just hate, just you, No, I have common damn sense. I have 4 daughters.
Caleb, let's just explain why that's common sense for 1 second, okay? Public schools are for the public mass, right? And you said it earlier, and I just want to make sure the listeners grasped hold of the percentage you threw out just a few minutes ago. And guys, please fact check me on this. Go check Gallup, okay? One of the national poll websites, the big guys. Go check
the people who poll the presidential elections.
Right. So, less than 4% of the national
LGBT community.
Right. Well, no, less than 4% of the community is LGBT.
According to this poll.
Okay. Fine. 4%. Whatever. Less than 0.3% is transgendered. So, some people might say, well, Caleb and Josh, if less than 3% is transgendered, why
0.3%.
I'm sorry. Less than 0.3% is transgendered. Why are you so worried about it? It's not about the transgendered people.
Right.
It's about the fact that the President of the United States, the most powerful man in America, literally took the time from his day to threaten and follow through with threats. I'm going to show you that in a minute. That if we don't abide by making 0.3% of our population feel comfy, and we don't expose the other 99.7% to something that we don't believe in,
or that we feel is inappropriate to expose
to a kindergartner,
5 years old.
I mean, or to a 16-year-old. When my daughter's 16, I will be damned if a man sleeps in her bed on a field trip
because he feels like a girl that day.
So
Listen,
the issue's not about transgender. The issue is about government abusing its power in threatening the state's rights.
well, yes, and the reason why they are doing that is exactly what we stated at the beginning. It is because they don't have integrity. They are selling their integrity off like it is just a commodity that has zero value. Because the PC vote is so good. We want to be so progressive. Let me tell you something about progressiveness, about your socialistic failures. Let me tell you something about, I don't know, I have a 5-year-old daughter, and a 4-year-old daughter, and an 8-year-old daughter, and a 10-year-old daughter. Before you jump on your little train, he's a pre-straight boys, not transgendered people. Listen, I've not mentioned rape once. And I don't care who were to rape my child. Whether it would be a unicorn, whether it to be a dragon, whether it to be a homosexual, a transgendered, a red, white, and blue, bleeding, patriotic, Republican conservative from Texas. If you ever, from the tiniest ant to the largest, most fearsome creature, were to harm my child, I would take your idea of pain, torture, and death to a whole new level. You would be pleading for me to let you end yourself. So it has zero to do with my fear of what could possibly happen to them. It has 100% to do with the principle of my 5-year-old kindergartner should not have to come to me and ask why a 6'4" hairy man in a dress and pumps is peeing in the stall next to her. Because as much as we want to, well, the children, they don't see a difference. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Quit lying to yourself to make you feel good. My 5-year-old can easily look at me and go, Daddy, why is that boy dressed like a girl? Not in a hateful way, in an inquisitive way. If I'm not ready to have the talk with my children, I'm very much not ready to have the don't worry about the man in the bathroom with you. Like, does anybody remember middle school and high school when you felt awkward having to take your clothes off around the same people of the same sex? But because less than 1% of the country feels the need. Listen, if you feel that uncomfortable, if you are just so, I'm just not a man, or I'm just not a woman, and just cannot stand it, here's your options. I'm gonna lay them out for you. Because listen, inside your 4 walls, inside your property line, listen, if you want to be a freaking peacock, go outside. Glue some feathers to your booty and strut around naked in the back of your yard and peck the ground for all I care. If you want to be a cow, get on all fours, eat some grass, and poo on yourself. I do not care what your personal liberty is inside of your home. Have at it. When I have a problem is when you bring your personal liberties into the public. The same people that want to go, don't you say nothing about Jesus. Don't you beat me with your Bible, you hatred-filled Christian. Are the same people who want to make my kids have to pee next to a man. That is the problem. So your personal, you have skewed your personal freedoms and where those are limited. Just like the same person who hates everything and their personal freedoms can't go out into the marketplace and just hate everyone or the police take them away. Guess what? You don't get to dictate the sign on the bathroom door. I don't know if you ever noticed this. It has 0 emotions, Josh. Do you ever walk by a bathroom sign and it's like crying?
No, and it's never smiling either.
No, weird. Because it doesn't care about your feelings. It cares about your anatomical code. If you are given by God / nature, whichever side of the fence you fall on in that argument, you're given a boy part or you're given a girl part. And regardless about how you feel about that part, that sign doesn't care. It says, these parts go here. The circles go in the circle hole and the square pegs go in the square hole. Bottom line. Does not care. Why? Well, if gender doesn't matter, like I was watching this Facebook video of like these awesome progressive like Washington college students and they were just so progressive because they were like, listen, there's no difference between a boy and a girl. Like whatever you want to identify yourself as, that's fine. It doesn't matter. Oh, okay. Well, let's just. You can't see me right now, but I'm running.
He's running with it.
I'm running. I'm sprinting down the road of idiocracy. And you know what I'm finding? If that's the case, if that's your truth, question. Can I ask a question?
Yes, Caleb. What's your question?
My question is, why the hell do we wear clothes?
Well, that's a good question.
Because if it doesn't matter, then I guess I don't need to keep my parts covered. Because it gets hot sometimes, and I'd like to feel a breeze.
Well, if those are your feelings, then
that's all that matters.
Right. Even though you're less than 0.1% of the population.
Well, I mean, even if I was like 51% of the population. Guys, there has to be a standard. There has to be a set of rules. Because the second there are no rules, the same people that are going, well, they just feel like that's okay. That's just how they were born. I don't know if you know this, but typically pedophiles they genuinely just want to love little kids. They don't want to hurt them. They just feel like it's necessary to have a romantic relationship with somebody, 35 years younger than them who hasn't reached puberty yet. What makes that? That's how they feel. Oh, but no, that hurts. Oh, well, does it really hurt them? Does the child feel hurt? Well, let's keep going with this logic because it's all about how we feel. Sociopaths, they feel the need to kill people. They are born with the need to kill people. But we still fry them up like they're breaded catfish. Why?
Because they hurt people.
Because just because they feel a certain way doesn't make it right. And just because you feel the need to go in the girl's bathroom if you have boy parts doesn't make it right. Listen, if you feel that much of a need, save up all your little nickels and dimes and go get a surgery. Go get you some girl parts. And at that point, you are more than welcome to go sit down and pee. If you feel that strong of a need and you can't afford it, I have another answer for you. Pee at home. Go to the family bathroom by yourself. Like, there are already too many options for you to solve this issue. But
I hate that we even had to make an episode about this, Caleb.
I do too.
Like, this is...
I wanted to get to so much more.
The stupidest, most idiotic crap out there. So
let's real quick hit the other high points because we've wasted far too much time on this. The point is that the government has sold its integrity to get the PC vote. This has nothing to do with actual rights. We're talking about less than 1% of the population. This has to do with looking good in front of all the progressives and millennials going, Oh, well, yeah, everybody's got to have their feelings, and all their feelings got to be valid. That's all it has to do with. Don't get it twisted. This has nothing to do with the reality of people needing bathrooms. So moving on.
Okay, so
Government sold its integrity.
So if the government has no integrity, Caleb, it poses the question, what is integrity? So let's just give a quick definition of it real quick. Integrity is the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles or moral uprightness. Folks, that does not mean that you have to be a Christian, middle-class, Republican, white, conservative. Morality goes far further than that. If you believe nature gave you
Well, first off, do you classify yourself as Republican, Josh?
No, I don't.
Do I?
No.
So it has to do. Listen, in the words of, and so real quick, I want to hit this point earlier. I got sidetracked with all this. In business, selling your integrity looks like I'm going to do something that I know I don't want done to me in order to get the sale. I need my paycheck now. I'm desperate. I need my paycheck now. I mean, it's human nature. It's at its core animal nature. Well, what sets humans apart? So what sets humans apart is our consciousness. It's our integrity. It's our values. It's our morals. So the second that somebody says, I'm not going to take the paycheck. I'm going to do what's right because it's right by this person. And if I get the paycheck or not, it doesn't matter. So, real quick, in any sales gig, so we're talking real estate, insurance, telephone sales, timeshares, whatever. Josh, if I called you, and I'm a telemarketer, do you get excited?
No.
Are you like, God, yes, finally, the www.shinjuknives.com just called me and I'm going to get 16 sets for the price of 2?
No.
You're like, God, man, that was such a great conversation. I had such a good human connection.
No.
Right. And yet, the people that sell those, because they refuse to build real relationships and offer just a good product to the relationships. Listen, if you have a good relationship, Josh, I have a good relationship with you, right?
I would say we're brothers.
Well, I mean, even though we're brothers,
yes.
I mean, there's brothers that have bad relationships, but we have a good relationship, right?
Yes.
If I called you, hey, Josh, listen, you need to get this. Whatever it was, I'm not saying you buy it, but you'd consider it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'd hear me out.
Yes.
Why?
Because of our relationship.
And because you trust that relationship.
Right, and I know you have integrity.
Oh, because my integrity wouldn't allow me to tell you to get something that wasn't good for you because you know I'm not, no matter how desperate I get,
right.
I'm not going to come to you and be like, listen, I need $10,000. You're going to get this great little deal, and we're going to give you like 60,000 points, and they're not really going to be attached to anything. And then, you know, we're going to make you pay $600 a month on maintenance fees, but it's going to be the best time of your life.
I know that you would never compromise on our relationship for a sale.
Exactly. Would I ever compromise on any relationship for a sale?
No, you wouldn't.
Why?
Because you have integrity.
Because my integrity is the most important thing. Listen, you have to understand, once you sell your integrity, it's not like you can buy it back.
Right. That's gone.
Your integrity is the most important thing in business, in life, in government, in whatever. Once it's gone, there's no second market to go like buy some more. Like, hey, man, you know, I screwed over like these 100,000 people, but let me get like 20,000 units of integrity so I can get it like 40,000 more, and then I'll be set.
Right. I wonder how Enron would be doing right now if they if there was a market for integrity.
I think they'd be bankrupt.
The point that we're making here, guys, is relationships are built with the bricks of integrity.
Right.
You can't have a relationship with somebody, whether it's professional, personal, you know, contractual, if there's no integrity between both parties, can't exist.
So, like, for me in real estate, if you are my client, I have to have the integrity to look at you and say, this isn't a good idea, regardless of how it affects my commission. And on top of that, because this happens a lot in our industry, but I was talking about it today with someone else. My integrity has to go beyond just dealing directly with you, but looking out for your best interest. So I heard this story of this agent, and they knew that their sellers had a weakness, and because they wanted to birthday it, which is get both sides of the commission in real estate terms, they found a buyer, told their sellers weaknesses to the buyer, and got the buyer a hell of a deal.
I'm pretty sure that's
that's an ethics violation.
Right. It's also illegal in the state of Florida.
No, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's an ethics violation. Like, they could be in serious trouble for it. I don't personally know the realtor or their name. And then that's the same kind of person that would walk around and go, I don't know why people don't trust realtors. How about this? You sold all your integrity at bottom dollar to get one sale. Instead of, hey, I did the best job these people could ever get, handling the most important decision of their lives. So, yeah, I didn't get the sales quick, but guess what? You now have a fan. You now have an advocate. You now have somebody who goes, listen, he didn't take the paycheck. You know what he did? He made sure we got the best deal for our house. He made sure that he negotiated and left something on the table for him, walked away from something for himself to do better by me. That person will get you 5 more sales. Like, people are so concerned with transaction, like, build a relationship. Be real with another human being. You have to stop doing things that you think directly translate to dollar signs and purely help others without expectation. That doesn't mean go do a good deed and be like, that never paid off. I guess I can't do no more good deeds. Like, quit thinking about payoffs. If you genuinely help people, yeah, sure, you're not going to hit the lottery every time. You're not going to pull the slot machine and jackpot it every time. But it doesn't matter because you know you're doing the right thing. You can go home and lay your head down at night and be like, listen, I may not have got the sale today, but I know that those people are better off than before they met me. Really, when it comes to integrity, Josh,
Caleb,
there's only one thing they have to remember, and it's this. Quit selling your integrity for a quick win today and start saving your integrity for successful business tomorrow. Whether it's the government, whether it's a business, it is so tempting and so easy to sell your integrity today because, man, that watch looks good. I need that boat. Girls need a new pair of shoes. But that's today.
You get 10 times that tomorrow.
Play the long game.
Okay, let's leave him with a quote from Gary Vaynerchuk. You told me earlier this week.
And honestly, old Gary Vee, if you ever hear this, I'm sorry if I butcher it. I'm going to try and say it correctly, but I feel a little pressure right now. So here we go. In the words of Gary Vee, doing the right thing is always the right thing. And he's not the first to say it. I mean, go to the golden rule. Do unto others as you would like done to yourself.
Doesn't make it any less true.
Right. Doing the right thing is always, not sometimes, not every now, always the right thing. So guys, we love you. If you want to join the rebellion, go to therebellionshow.com. Scroll a little ways down, sign up for the newsletter. And it's not just a newsletter. I mean, there's all kinds of little nuggets that you get by signing up. We give tips and tricks, and you get insider access to all the stuff that's going on. You get involved in the blog posts that go deeper than we do in the episodes. So definitely go check it out.
And guys, if you like this episode or if you didn't like this episode, leave us a review on iTunes. Your feedback is the only way we know how to adapt to the marketplace.
Right.
Also, email us at
Caleb at therebellionshow.com
or Josh at therebellionshow.com. We love hearing your feedback. That's why we acknowledge you guys.
And not just your feedback. Like, if you have a subject that you want us to cover, if you have a complaint with, hey, I didn't like the way that Caleb talked about those, transgenders not getting it right, hit me with it. I'd love to hear it. We can discuss it. And it's not like, if you don't want your name to be mentioned, that's fine too. We won't mention your name. Just make a little note of it. Say, hey, Caleb, this is how I feel about something, but I'd appreciate it if you're going to disagree with me. Don't mention my name. Cool. No problem. And I may not disagree with you guys. Like, we are very open to hearing other people's opinions. Like, I'm very much of the mindset that the only way to expand your brain and learn more knowledge is to stretch it. The only way you stretch it is by having challenging views. If everybody just fell in line with me, I would never learn anything new. So, like he said, email me at Caleb at therebellionshow.com. Email him at
Josh at therebellionshow.com.
Don't forget about those iTunes reviews, though. We gonna earn that 5.
That's right.
We gonna earn that 5.
Oh, brother, it's that time.
Is it that time?
It's that time.
I hate it being that time. I love our people. Do you love our people?
I love our people.
Hey, and by the way, growing way faster than we thought we would. Gaining some serious traction.
Yeah.
So, guys, if you're out there and you're spreading the message, keep spreading it. It's working. We love you. We can't tell you how much we appreciate it. Thank you. That being said,
here we go.
You guys keep fighting the good fight, and we will keep leading the rebellion. Good night. See you next week. We love you. Fight strong. Kill, kill, kill.